The individual impact of the variables. We might get a question sometimes saying, out of all the predictor variables that we have used for prediction of the buying or not buying, that we have used for prediction of attrition versus not attrition, what are the important variables? If I have to choose top 5 variables, what will be those variables? While we are choosing the model, is there a way I can drop the variables that are not impacting, that are less impacting, and then keep only very important variables so that I don't need to collect, maintain the data for those less impacting variables? Why should I keep those variables that are not at all impacting my Y variable? How to rank the predictor variables in order of their importance? How do I find out the individual impact of the variables? The individual impact can be found by looking at the Z values or Wald chi-square values. There is something called Z value in your output for each against each variable. Looking at the Z value or the absolute value of the Z, you can tell what is the impact of that variable. Instead of looking at absolute value of Z, or Wald chi-square is simply the square of the Z value that you have. So you can look at the Wald chi-square or square of the Z value that you have at each variable. Based on that, you can rank them. You have to simply square that up, square the Z value. The variable with highest Z value is the best one. I'm talking about the absolute value. If you have a variable with Z value minus 30 and another variable with Z value 10, the most important variable is the variable with Z value minus 30. We have to consider the absolute Z value, because some variables might be positively impacting, some variables might be negatively impacting. We are talking about the impact, positive or negative, it doesn't matter. Or in simple terms, you can consider Wald chi-square value or simply the chi-square value or Z square value. So let us see what are the top impacting variable, or how do we rank the variables inside our fiber bits data. For the fiber bits data, what are the top impacting and least impacting variables for the fiber bit model? Find the importance in order and order them based on their impact. How do we do that? We can simply look at the summary of the model. Simply summary of the model, look at the Z values. What is the least Z value? Looks like monthly bill is the least impacting variable. What is the highest impacting variable? Speed test result. Speed test results. So if the speed test result, this looks like this is the most impacting variable. So people staying or leaving the network depending on the speed, maybe whatever speed the internet service provider promises, if he is not able to meet that, based on that people are leaving or staying back. Now if you are getting confused with the sign and all that, you can use simply a function called var imp, variable importance. Fiber bits model, you just say scale equal to false. Simply you use a function called caret. In that function there is this var imp, variable importance. You run the variable importance, right? So it is just simply the square of whatever we have in the top, or it's not square, I think it's just the absolute value of whatever we have as a Z value income. So let's say minus 24 for plan changes, here it is 24. So looking at this, you can simply tell what is the highest impacting. Speed test. Next highest impacting is relocated. Yeah, when people relocate or when they stay back, when they relocate, it has large chance of staying or leaving the network. Then what is the least impacting variable? Monthly bill is least impacting. Number of complaints is next, and all that, months on network. In that way we can simply find out what are the most impacting or least impacting variables in the logistic regression output. If you want to see which are the variables that are significant or insignificant based on p-value, also you can tell if the p-value analogy is same as linear regression. If the p-value is less than 5%, yes, the variable should be kept. If the p-value is more than 5%, yeah, the variable can be dropped. Here all the variables are important. If the p-value is more than 5%, you can drop that variable.